Hey, what's up, YouTube? Marco Polo back with you. All right, today I got an article from CNBC. New foreclosures jump 20% in October, a sign that more distress is in the housing market. Foreclosure starts, which are the initial phase of the process, rose 6% for the month and were 20% higher than the year before. Completed foreclosures, the final phase, were up 32% year over year. Florida, South Carolina, Illinois led the nation in state foreclosure filings. So just who are the people who are losing their homes? Probably folks who are being laid off. That'll be a big batch of them. Another batch of them will be the people who overpaid for their houses. Do you remember not long ago, a few years ago, when many of the real estate agents were telling you, marry the house and date the rate? Well, people followed the direction. The professionals were leading them to the water to drink. Well, the water was tainted because the rates never came back down. We're sitting here in 2025 and we're still in a high interest rate environment. Refinancing still doesn't make sense. And if you're on some type of a balloon payment, you can totally get wiped out. You were waiting on these interest rates, and that's tied to the 10-year, to drop. Never happened, did it? So you dated the rate. Well, the rate got you like a bad marriage. Many times we put our trust in one of the biggest investments, probably the biggest purchase in most people's lives, is the house, the home that they live in, a condominium, or any residence or dwelling. So this decision must not be a gamble. You know, you're not trying to time things perfectly. If you do catch good timing, you're lucky. But it's better to be level-headed, to do your own homework, and not to trust the so-called professionals. A lot of the so-called professionals were people who jumped jobs, and they seen that real estate was booming. You know, just a few years back, the market was super hot, red hot. People were offering over asking price for multiple homes, and sellers could sell within a week, within days, be under contract. It was mayhem. So for every time something goes too far, it's going to come back down. It's like a rubber band pulled, it's going to snap back. So here we are with the snapback. The thing is, we haven't fallen yet. The prices still remain elevated. The average home price in the United States is somewhere around $415,000, and that's actually gone up in the last year. It's gone up. Interest rates are down slightly. 6.3 maybe right now is a pretty much an average. I know a woman, she just took a loan on a new build and she's paying 7.2. She got with the builder, she had her own land, she paid $500,000 to have this house built, and financing fell through. She was so close to the closing and her financing fell through. She was freaking out. She had a friend who's in the mortgage industry. She calls her friend, and within 1 week, they got her back to the table with an over 7% interest rate on $500,000. And I said, wow, you must have a really nice house. She said, not really. It's not even high end. The added features are not even high end. I said, geez, you know, and you came with your own land. I said, try to make her feel better. You know, I didn't kick her while she was down, but I said, you just hang in there. Hopefully things will get better. Interest rates will get lower and you can refinance to an actual price that you can afford. She works a regular blue collar job in an office and not known for being a lucrative career. Maybe her boss makes a lot of money, but not her. So I was just blown away by that story. And income, the 50-year mortgage. Half a century, baby. 50, 55, 0 big ones, right? 50 years of your life. Look at how many things are going to change. Look how technology is going to change in 50 years. I mean, we're probably going to be flying around in cars or space shuttles or God knows whatever in the next 50 years. Technology is advancing so fast. Are you going to be employed in 50 years? Am I going to be employed in 50 years? Will we even need to be employed? Will there be a universal basic income? I mean, you are looking so far down the line into the future that is ridiculous to take on a loan for 50 years. Whew, man. Well, anyways, this is so-called 50-year loan is being developed and it's seriously being considered, and they're probably going to propose it. It's been proposed. They're probably going to bring it out, and banks will jump all over this. I mean, it's going to be something where they can make massive, massive amounts of interest on it. Triple what you're going to pay for any house. And the prices are going to go up. It's going to inflate the market. It's going to bring more buyers to meet the sellers. And there's going to be a lot of turnover in the housing market. And I believe the housing market, in my personal opinion, will grow so expensive that it will be way out of touch for anybody who's not already in it. Meaning, if you're not selling a house and have that equity, that growth, that surge that's already been going on, it's going to come back. And if you're not in it, you're going to be out, and you're going to be way out. You'd have to do exceptionally well to afford a house, a decent home in the future. And that's the way the separation of the high class and the lower poverty class, or the working class, is what we call the lower poverty class, or the non-working class, who's in the same boat as the lower, like the uneducated economist says, the lower 80%. Those people are basically us. We're basically living to struggle, to serve the higher 20%. And you got to do your darn best right now. Opportunities are coming left and right. They are. You just have to open your eyes. And you might say, oh, this is not an opportunity just to get, the keys to a house, the keys to some real estate. That's not an opportunity. Or just a piece of land, just owning the land. That is an opportunity, because as time goes and as our dollars are devalued, which, our wages are not growing very fast, so the dollars continue to be devalued, that land, that house will become more and more out of reach for you and I, my friend. So that is opportunity. Figure out any way you can get a hold of it and hold on for the ride. It's going to be a roller coaster. Subscribe to my channel. My name's Marco Polo. If you like any of my content, hit that thumbs up. Let's get the message out there. Support me in my content. Have a great day.